Yes, sir.
Maybe you go to CPS, the other one in town.
Hey.
Then you will get clarification.
Okay.
But now, finally, who was arrested from the site?
It is still ginger. It is still ginger.
You said the one in town?
CPS.
I think CPS.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's where our big men are.
Okay, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Here is only for small people.
Oh my goodness. Yes, sir. No, we have no problem. And you shouldn't worry about me finding. All I have are crutches, not a gun. So. Me? I've come all the way from Kampala to Jinja. We are strong now, village. We are strong. Is Kafande Kato still here? Wow.
He has been released.
Kafande Kato is his head of...
He's in CPS where I'm sending you.
Oh, Kafande Kato?
Yeah, Kato is inside there.
And the municipal saying that he's been,
If I go with you inside there, can you get him?
Yes, of course. I don't work there. I don't know where I am.
Auntie, I'm telling you, he has moved.
He's there.
If you...
He's there. I'm gave him.
So has he been given food? Even then? And what you done? Okay. So you had in as good shape as you had gotten that food?
Yeah, of course.
And the Kato Afuka Chali Wafe?
Kato Chali Wafe.
Hey. Okay.
One I knew you. Smani Mwesi Guamukino Kumping as you need.
Ngamurangachi.
Madam Gano Quata Bobby Way.
Anti kuba katika toke mulimu kuba twasoko bagana nga tulaba tubakuma go
baba wakuma na afuka muntu wa bulijjo naye nga atali na mayinjanga buna boge balina
Wow, this is a good country.
Ano kaseera sikangu.
Joel, are they allowing you in?
No. So we've gotten here. Of course, we've traveled a long distance. Police says they can't allow us access. They are telling us to go to their bosses. They're not giving specifics of who the bosses are. They have confirmed to us that they are detaining Honorable Chagulanyi here for the night. So there's not so much communication coming through these people. And
let us wait the way. This is the gate.
Okay, let's just go on this side. No problem, man.
Let's view a fair national interest for you.
So maybe you can get here.
Yeah.
Okay, so yes, like I was saying, we have come all the way from Kampala to establish the latest about our presidential candidate, Honorable Chagulanyi Sentamu. He was detained brutally, as you all did see, and brought here to Nalufenya. The scenes that we saw today were very disturbing. A number of our people were badly beaten. We have gotten news that about 5 people have died. We are trying to authenticate that, but we understand police has only confirmed 3 so far, but pictures are showing a lot more. Many people have been brutalized. Of course, our team leader, we don't know the situation in which he is currently. As you have seen, they've denied us access. We have asked them if he's under detention or what, but they have confirmed that he's under detention for tonight. So they told us to go and look for their bosses and engage with them. We don't know who those are. They've not given us any specifics. It's a very disturbing time because this gentleman is a presidential candidate. He has a program which he has been following. And today he was meant to be in Luka. And interestingly, by the way, police is the one which guided him and led him all the way to the venue, the campaign venue, where he was meant to be, in Luka. Only to get there, it looked like it was a trap, that they led him there, only for hell to break loose. When they got there, it's as if, I don't know, it's as if this guy's got demon possessed all of a sudden. They changed, they became violent, as you did see, broke into cars, beat up people, and they violently did arrest him. We we are bothered by this and a lot more. We have always, and we continue to call on the Electoral Commission to say, guys, you're the superintendents of this electoral process. Honorable Kyagulanyi is supposed to be under your watch, but clearly you don't seem to be in charge. Who is in charge of the electoral process? Has police now become the Electoral Commission? Because a program was drawn, which was confirmed by the Electoral Commission, of course, together with the police. But you see, every now and again, police keeps disrupting our activities. In Kitgum, we did see an RDC who told our presidential candidate and the team he was with that you are not welcome to my district, Kitgum. That's what he said. He called it his district. And he said, wait a minute. So who is an RDC all of a sudden that he can tell a presidential candidate who has a program to be in Kitgum that you cannot come to my district? So we have, I don't know, does it now require some kind of visa to access districts, which is meant to access right on schedule, the program that is meant to follow? But we have RDCs who have an exaggerated sense of self-importance. Because the fellow is an RDC, they have these old pickup trucks that they use and a guard and then a salary of 1.5 million. All of a sudden they feel they're very important. So I cannot allow you Kyagulanyi in my district. But how? Why is the Electoral Commission looking on as these things are happening? Yesterday was meant to be in Tororo. And the one Tanga Odoi, who recently was a teacher, now he's the chairman of the Electoral Commission of the NRM. I would think that Tanga Odoi is maybe competent in matters to do with NRM elections. And again, his party members don't seem to say so because, they have been bashing him left, right, and center. But who is Tanga Odoi now? To command police, because he commanded police in Tororo to make sure Honorable Kyagulanyi does not enter Tororo district. A district that was meant to be campaigning in yesterday. He was on schedule for that. Everything had been okayed by the Electoral Commission, who are the superintendents. But Tanga Odoi stands there and says, I'm not going to allow Kyagulanyi into Tororo. Who is Tanga Odoi? Electoral Commission, you do tell us. All right? Is Tanga Odoi one of the commissioners? Even if he was to be, anyway, part of the commission of the National Electoral Commission, is this how programs then are supposed to keep changing? That somebody just wakes up and decides that for me, I will call the shots here because I am Tanga Odoi. And police meanwhile looks on. Tanga Odoi mobilized some border cyclists and so on who caused mayhem. They were gathered there, but police kept guarding them. We saw what happened in Bale, where one of our supporters was shot dead. We saw what happened in Mayuge. Police decided to ram into our supporters, and one of them was killed. Several of them were injured. So it has become apparent that police is not serving Ugandans, as should be the case. Police is serving the NRM, because when the NRM folks gather and do whatever it is that they want to do, it's okay. But if it is opposition, if it is Kyagulanyi and NUP, no, we must beat these ones up, we must kill them, and all of that. We want to send a warning to a couple of people. One, it is to Uganda police. And I'm hoping they're listening, because this is Nalufenya, one of the most notorious detention centers in this country. Police, you need to know that your job, your duty is to serve Ugandans, all Ugandans, and not NRM members. Serve them too because they're Ugandans, but as you do that, serve all Ugandans. Treat them equally. Because we are the people that pay your salaries. We are the people that buy those guns that you use, the tear gas canisters that you use to cause mayhem and wreak havoc. We are the people that buy the uniforms that you wear. For heaven's sake, have some respect for us. Treat all Ugandans equally. Observe the law. And we have begun to profile police officers who are breaking the law in a manner so wanton. The Frank Mwesigwas of this world and several others, we have begun to profile them because they must take individual responsibility. A time is going to come when each one of them will be held liable individually. Times have gone when we must now say, the entire police institution, where police officers, individual police officers, senior or otherwise, will break the law in a manner so wanton and then hide behind the institution of police and say, because in law it's called vicarious liability. No. We will not entertain that. And so we are profiling them. A time is going to come when they will each of them pay for this within the law. The other warning really, and it's a plea we are sending to the Electoral Commission, could you get to be in charge of this process? Or if you have failed to be in charge, let us know. Let us know that as the Electoral Commission, your powers are very limited, that you're not in charge. We saw what happened with the consultations in January. The Electoral Commission said, go ahead with your consultations that are provided for within the law. Police said, you will not hold them. We went to Kasangati, that was the first venue where we were meant to hold a consultation. They arrested Honorable Chagulanyi, myself, and several others who spent 2 days there. And they said, look, the reason we arrested you is because Kasangati, you were doing your consultations in an open ground. If it was in a hotel, it's okay. When they released us, we went to Lira. Lira, we were in a hotel. We were meant to be in a hotel. But police said no. And the Electoral Commission clearly was not in charge. There was no COVID in January, which they're using now as an excuse. It wasn't there, but the consultations were not granted. Today, here we are. And so the Electoral Commission needs to come out very clearly and tell us, are they in charge or otherwise? The other appeal we are making is one to religious leaders. We are glad that a number of religious leaders are speaking out, but a number of them have yet to speak out on these matters. Please do speak out. When I read the Bible, I see prophets of the day who spoke to kings. Kings were presidents at the time. And they approached them and said, my king, this is wrong. This injustice is wrong. What you're doing is wrong. We'd like to hear more religious leaders do that today. And we're not telling you to come out and support NUP or Honorable Chagulanyi. No. Do that if you want in your individual capacity. I mean, voting is by secret ballot, so you get to vote for whoever you want to. But speak out against injustice. We'd like to hear a lot more from cultural leaders. And we're not telling them to be partisan, but we are saying the people that you're leading are being killed. They're being maimed. They're being hurt by the people supposed to protect them. Please speak out on these matters. Opinion leaders, Ugandans across. This now goes beyond partisan boundaries. It goes beyond the NUP. It's a Ugandan matter because people who are being killed are Ugandans. We all must be able to speak out. Finally, let me say this. This has nothing to do with COVID, like I've told you. COVID is being used as an excuse, and you know they keep saying, but you see, you guys are gathering crowds and so on. People wait for Honorable Chagulanyi in every trading center. He has never called out on people. Never. As spokesperson, I have never, at least on behalf of the party, to say our members, our supporters, now our flag bearer is going to be coming to Luka. Please come out and receive him. No, we never do that. We only plan for the 200 people now that are said to be, planned for. But people, because they're hungry for change, they're desirous for change, and they see Honorable Chagulanyi and NUP as the embodiment of this change, they come out in droves. We don't call them, but they come out and they wave, and they don't commit a crime as far as we are concerned when they do that. He waves at them and then proceeds. So why does it become a crime? Why is COVID-19 being used as an excuse, for heaven's sake? If government of Uganda, if Mr. Tibuhaburwa, who is in charge of government, was so concerned about COVID-19, he would not have let the NRM primaries happen the way they did. Because at the time, COVID-19 was a lot more rife than it is now. Things were a lot more tricky. If Mr. Tibuhaburwa was so concerned about COVID-19, he would not let ministers and other NRM leaders go around campaigning masses. They had said at the time, churches and mosques, you cannot gather to pray because of COVID-19. But in the meantime, ministers, Ephraim Kamuntu and several other NRM leaders, Mike Mukula, were using churches to hold gatherings, to hold rallies. So it's nothing to do with COVID-19, for heaven's sake. There's a fellow, and let me say this, there's a fellow called Bebe Cool, who, there are people who are always trying to play catch-up. There are people who, always want to show that they're a little bit relevant. So wherever Honorable Chagulanyi has been, he also goes, and his role, I'm told nowadays, is distributing NRM t-shirts and some money. And so people gather around his car, he gives them money and all of that, and police protects them. So why is it okay for this fellow called Bebe Cool to gather people? And of course they'll come because they are hungry, they are poor, and so when he's giving them 5,000 shillings each and a t-shirt because they don't have clothes to wear, they will gather. But police only watches. So this has got nothing, totally nothing to do with COVID-19. This has got everything to do with the fact that there is a dictator, a 76-year-old dictator, whom Ugandans are tired of, and is afraid of them. He's afraid not just of Honorable Chagulanyi, but of Ugandans who are hungry, who are desirous for change. That's the real matter. And we would like to tell him they'll do all these things to try and slow us down, to try and demoralize us, to try and cut our speed, to try and break our resolve. But our resolve is a lot stronger than ever before. These acts only embolden us. They only strengthen our resolve. And so we are on the move. We are on the quest to remove a dictatorship. And that way, we'll be able to achieve the new Uganda that we are pushing forward for. Thank you. Olunaku olwaleero ebibaddewo byennyamiza byennyamiza kubanga tulina presidential candidate ayitibwa Honorable Kyagulanyi Ssentamu ffe ng'aba NUP. Omukulu yakola programu yiye n'agiwa akakiiko k'ebyokulonda ne kagikonfaminga era ng'alina okubeera mu bitundu bino ne poliisi netegeezebwako ono presidential candidate programu ye akakiiko k'ebyokulonda akalina obuvunaanyizibwa ku byokulonda kagikonfaminza agende maaso ne kampeyini ze. Olunaku olwaleero abadde alina kubeera mu Luka era poliisi nemuvuga ng'emugayiringa nemutwala ku venue. Abadde alina okubeera n'olukuŋŋaana campaign meeting naye ate olumaze otuukawo poliisi babadde nga abayiddwamu enjuki ne bakyankalana ne batandika okuba bamenya amamotoka bakubye abantu baffe abasinga bafunye ebisago batandise okulumba bannamawulire. Tulabe bannamawulire abafunye ebisago babalanga ki baagala mmwe bannamawulire mulekeraawo okulaga ensi obumenyi bw'amateeka bwa poliisi kyovuddwa olaba nammwe batandise obbakuba. Bakutte presidential candidate waffe Honorable Kyagulanyi mu bukambwe bw'ekitalo ne bamuyisa bubi ali wano Nalufenya. Tetumanyi kikigenda mu maaso. Tebakkiriza balooya be kumulaba, tebakkiriza basawo be kumulaba, tebakkiriza family members okumulaba, tebakkiriza naffe abakulembeze banne okumulaba. Batugambye wano nti tugende w'ababoosi baabwe abapoliisi be bajja otubuulira ekiddako ate ng'ekyo kijja kubeera nkya. So batukonfamingidde nti omukulu bamusibye agenda sula wano Nalufenya. Nalufenya mugimanyi yatabu nnyo eno gye bakubira abantu, eno gye batira abantu, kubira empisa agayiso agalimu obutwa n'ebirala. Ne presidential candidate waffe ali munda omwo tetumanyi kikigenda mu maaso batuganye okumulaba. Kino kizze kibaawo mu Kitgum. Waliwo RDC mu Kitgum yagenda n'agamba presidential candidate waffe ne ttiimu nti sigenda kukkiriza mu district yange. Wati bwe yakyogera district agiyita yiye. Manyi bano ba RDC abamu mwattu bagenda ne balowooza nti bafuuse ba kitalo. Musajja mubi yali abonaabona n'ensi ne bamuyita ne bamuwa omulimu ne bamuwa emmotoka waliwo zikabangali zino enkadde ze batambuliramu bamuwa omusaala gwa $1.5 kati n'awulira nti aha afuuse wa kitalo nnyo. Kati RDC obuyinza obugaana presidential candidate okuyingira district gy'abadde alina okubeeramu ng'eri ku program abujjawa. Walabye ebyabadde Tororo. Waliwo omusajja bamuyita Tanga Odoyi. Tanga Odoyi yali musomesa naye ennaku zino yakulira akakiiko k'ebyokulonda ka NRM. Tanga Odoyi yagenze n'aduumira poliisi ey'omutororo n'agiduumira tebakkiriza Honorable Kyagulanyi kuyingira mu Tororo. Era poliisi n'egondera ebiragiro bye. Kati ffe twebuuza uno Tanga Odoyi alina okubanga akwasaganya ensonga z'akakiiko k'ebyokulonda ka NRM kuba alina ebizibu ebimala. Wala primaries zaabwe abantu NRM baagala namukuba naki alina ebizibu ebimala alina kubanga akwasaganya ebyo. Naye kakati obuyinza Tanga Odoyi obudumira poliisi tikakati temukkiriza Kyagulanyi kuyingira mu Tororo gy'alina okubeeramu abujjawa. Poliisi batubuulire ranka ya Tanga Odoyi akola nabo. Akakiiko k'ebyokulonda katubuulire Tanga Odoyi akola mulimu ki mu kakiiko ak'ebyokulonda aka national ak'eggwanga lyonna. Mwalabye ebyabadde e Mayunge. Poliisi yasazeewo kutomera abawagizi baffe era omu yafiiriddewo abalala ne batuusibwako ebisago. Mulabye ebizze bibeerawo mu districts ez'enjawulo. Ebugiri bamuganye n'okwogera n'abantu be. Ono presidential candidate era alina campaign program eyakonfamingibwa akakiiko k'ebyokulonda gy'atambulirako. Kakati bano ba poliisi ne security bavaayo bo ne balowooza nti ffe tetugenda mukkiriza. Bakikola bayita mateeka ki? Tusaba akakiiko k'ebyokulonda okusookera ddala kuba kagamba keetengeredde keyita Independent Electoral Commission. Kafeeyo kategeeze eggwanga kali in charge oba nedda. Kubanga akakiiko kalinga akatali in charge era nga buli munnayuganda bw'akimanyi naye ko kagamba keetengeredde era kali in charge. Naye bwe kaba kali in charge lwaki ate abantu abalala poliisi n'abalala bagootaanya campaign process akakiiko zikakonfamingidde? Kubanga kizze kibeerawo mu buli ngeri. Naye akakiiko tukatuukirira kagamba tujja zigonjoola ensonga nene kaakano. Kati meeting zaffe n'akakiiko ebyokulonda zitandise okututama kubanga abakulu balinga abatalina buyinza bategeeze eggwanga nti mwatu naffe tulina bwe tukoma tutegeere ki ekigenda mu maaso. Twagala okulabula abannaffe abali mu poliisi. Poliisi erina okitegeera nti erina kuweereza bannayuganda bonna so si ba NRM bonga bo. Kubanga ffe bannayuganda ffe abasasula omusaala, ffe abagula uniform ze bambala, ffe abagula emmundu tiyagaasi n'ebirala bye bakozesa okutuluganya bannayuganda. Batuwe ku kitiibwa, bawe bannayuganda ekitiibwa, bajewo embeera y'ebyana n'abaana. Poliisi kyekola kaakano. Ate poliisi tubalabula abakulu mu poliisi kubanga tutandise ba profilinga ba Frank Mwesigwa baani Sekinoomu olunaku lugenda kukya bwe luti musasulire ebintu bino obumenyi bw'amateeka bwe mukolamu abapoliisi. Tetugenda gamba bino nti kitongole kya poliisi mwerimbike mwekweke mu kitongole kya poliisi. Abapoliisi sekinnoomu. Tugenda balondoola kuba tutandise baprofilinga olunaku lugenda kukya musasulire ebintu bye mukola bannayuganda okubata okubatulugunya okubatuusaako ebisago okumenya amateeka. Tusaba abalyoyi b'emyoyo abakulu mu madiini era twagala okwebaza abo bavaayo ne boogera ku fugabbi ne boogera kutulugunya bannayuganda. Tusaba n'abalala baveeyo boogere ku nsonga zino kuba kati kino kikyali kya NUP kya Uganda. Bw'ensoma vanjiri nsoma Bayibuli ndaba bakabona baatukiriranga bakabaka bapulezidenti b'ebiseera ebyo namugamba kabaka ssebo kino kyokoze kikyamu. Lwaki abakulembeze b'amadiini tebabikola kaakati bonna? Tusaba abakulembeze b'ennono cultural leaders nabo baveeyo boogere ku nsonga zino kubanga abantu bemukulembera babatta babatulugunya babayisa bubi. Muveeyo mwogere ku nsonga zino. Ate tutugamba nti muveeyo muwagire Kyagulanyi ne NUP. Nedda, muveeyo mwogere kufuga bbi ku kutulugunya bannayuganda kuba kati kino kikyali kya NUP yokka. Mukwasaganye ensonga zino. Tusaba bannayuganda abali eyo mwinna bane tutandika okwebereramu. Oba oli wa NUP oba tuli wa NUP kubanga kino ekitubaddeko ffe aba NUP enje kijjawo obo onoosiriikirira. Ffenna twegate tugambe nti nedda kino kikyamu. Njagala sembyayo kino. Mwami Tibuhaburwa ne gavumenti ye ensangi zino beekwasa nnyo COVID-19 Kyagulanyi okunga abantu baveeyo mu bungi ate kati awo akabuka aka corona kagenda kwanga kasaasaana. Okusookera ddala omukulembeze waffe presidential candidate waffe Kyagulanyi Ssentamu tabangayo n'omulundi n'ogumu n'ayita abantu muninde mu zi trading center naki fenga ekibiina tetukyogerangako nti muveeyo. Tutegeka wagenda okubeera ne campaign meeting abantu ebibiri batuwa naye olwokubanga bannayuganda bangi baagala nkyukakyuka bakoowu bamulinda bamanya nti kati agenda ggulu buli trading center eri ku kkubo eryo nga bamulindirira mu bungi bwabwe ne bamuwuubira ne yeeyongerayo. Abatabayise ate tekimanya amateeka okuwubira omuntu gw'oyagala ne yeeyongerayo. Naye kambuuze lwaki balondoola Kyagulanyi nga n'abalala bakikola? Waliwo omukulu bamuyita bebekulu. Ensangi zino omanyi akopereza nnyo bambi agenda n'alaba Kyagulanyi yamusukkako kati alowooza tukyali mu byakuyimba tamanyi nti kati bino bintu biri siriyasi. Kati agenda mwattu ng'agenda agezaako okukoperera ono bwe Kyagulanyi buli gy'ava nga bebekulu agendayo ne ttiimu ye kuba kati bamuwa omulimu NRM gwendaba gwa kugaba zi t-shirt n'okugaba 50,000 zaawa abantu era bajja kubanga mwattu abantu baffe baavu. So bategeera nti ayingiddewo ne zi t-shirt balina nangoye nga bajja ku mmotoka ye mu bungi n'okufuna ssente. Si baagala nnyo t-shirt zaabwe eza yero ne mwami Museveni naye mwattu baavu tebalina kyakwambala n'akasente ze 50,000 zibakolera zino bebekulu zaagaba. Naye kaakati poliisi yebeekuuma abo abantu mu bungi bwabwe baze mwatufuna kasente naki tebalina gwe bakuba tebalina gwe bakubatiya gaasi n'okutta. Lwaki tulina enkola embeera ey'abaana n'ebyana? Mwami Museveni agenda n'agamba nti kati ye afaayo nnyo ku bannayuganda ku lwa corona alimba. Mwami Tibuhaburwa alekera okulimba eggwanga. Singa bannayuganda bafaako nnyo singa n'ensonga ya COVID-19 ya corona tewalikkiriza NRM primaries gy'okulira NRM okubeerawo nga bwe zaali. Enkuŋŋaana naki ne bazikuba ate mu biseera ebyo corona yali nga ya tabbu nnyo okusingako ne kaakano. Teyabyogerako teyabakomako ne bakikola. Kakati mbu olwajjukidde okufa ku bannayuganda olwa corona yakajjukira kati. Mwami Tibuhaburwa ajja kujjukira nti abakulembeze be baminisita ne baani kosi baggalawo zikyaki n'emizikiti teri kusaba teri kusaala olwa corona. Naye ate kati zikyaki baminisita be Professor Ephraim Kamuntu abakulu mu NRM Mike Mukula n'abalala nga bo ate enkuŋŋaana zaabwe bazikuba mu makyaki teyabakomako n'omulundi n'ogumu. Bwe twali tugenda tutandika consultations zaffe mu January twatandikira wali Kasangati era ne batusiba Kyagulanyi nange n'abalala ennaku bbiri zitwamalayo nga batulanga ki mbu olukuŋŋaana tubadde tulukubye mu open space naye singa ebadde woteeri kyali baddoke. Olwatutabwe tuti ne tuva mu komera ne tulumbalira liitwa twali tunda kubeera mu woteeri neera ne batulemesa. Consultation time mu January waliwo corona lwaki batulemesa? So Mwami Tibuhaburwa akikozesanga lwekwaso. Amazima amatuufu go gali nti bannayuganda bakooye gavumenti ya Mwami Tibuhaburwa abaddewo emyaka mingi nnyo abayisiza bubi abaliisiza akakanja bamukooye. Era kyovuddoola batayagala Kyagulanyi Ssentamu kati gwe balaga obuganzi gwe balaga obwagazi okubabeeramu kubanga abagula amaaso ababuusa abagumya abagamba naye tunywere tukole ekisoboka ono nakyemalire tumuggyemu ntebe ate mu mirembe ekyo mwami Tibuhabura kyatya kubanga singa si mutiitiizi fenga bwe tulowooza nga bwe tukiraba nti mutiitiizi nnyo singa si mutiitiizi yali badde aleka Kyagulanyi n'etaayaya naye kyajja kikkiriza era ne korona nga tannatandika yali takikkiriza kati korona amuteekawo lwakyekwaso kubuzaabuza bannayuganda naye fenga NUP fenga bannayuganda abegwanyiza enkyukakyuka tuli banywevu bano bye bakola bagezaako kutumenya mitima bagezaako tusala sipiidi naye ate bye bakola bitwongera buvumu bitwongera maanyi tugenda sigala nga tusonga mbere nga tulumba kubanga kitwagala tukimanyi mwebale nnyo mwebale ddala
bakiraba kundowoozi ya Uganda ebiri wano ku komera e Nalufenya naye batusabire president waffe wa National Unity Platform Robert Kyagulanyi Ssentamu.
So we're going to see more details as they unfold in the story, but I can't forget that as of
abatulaba ku ddoboozi lya Uganda tujja kuba tweyongera okutuusaako embeera endala yonna ejja kuba etuukawo wendi era nkyagenda maaso n'okutuusaako nza Jamiru Isco Jami wa Baby Camera era wano tukyaliwo e Nalufenya paka president waffe kulaba nga ateebwa ya Free Uganda Mr. Museveni Mr. Takawura Museveni wendi abali ku ddoboozi lya Uganda ensonga eziruma bannayuganda zonna ddoboozi lya Uganda tugenda maaso n'okutuusaako mweraba nkyali wano e Nalufenya Jami wa Baby Camera amanya Isco Jamiru.